Hello, everybody out there in Instagram land. This is Liz Smith with the St. John's Boosters Business Association in St. John's, Portland, Oregon, coming to you live. And today is Friday, May 28th. It is the last Friday in May. We are getting ready for June to begin next week. It is a 3-day weekend due to Memorial Day for many people. So lots of time to hang out and enjoy our different businesses in the district. Hopefully, spend some safe time with friends and family and just enjoy the beautiful weather. I'm in my absolute summer wear today, channeling the summer vibes. There's so many nice outdoor places to sit and eat and drink. Everything is in full bloom right now. It's just a great time, and we're gonna have nice warm weather this weekend, so I'm excited about that. Hope everybody's doing really well. And this series on Instagram Live is called I Am a Small Business. This was started with a social media campaign by Venture Portland, in which businesses and especially their owners and managers were highlighted to remind you that when you're supporting small business, you are supporting a friend, a neighbor, somebody in your district, somebody that might live near you, and their families. So we decided to take that live, and sorry, my throat's a little dry. I'm going to have a little sip of coffee. Hold on. Always happens when I'm going live. Excuse me. So it's been really fun to get to know some of these different business owners and nonprofit managers and, so many cool stuff that we don't walk around the district quite as much as we used to anymore and hang out quite as much as we used to anymore. So this is your chance to hang out with me and another person. So today, I'm really excited because I'm going to be hosting Allison Kirley. The name of Allison's business is Allison Kirley Radical Self-Love Coach. So we're going to find out what that means today. And some of you know Allison from some of the previous things she did in her work, or maybe you've been seeing her now. I'm going to let her tell her story. One quick community announcement that I wanted to make is that the St. John's Boosters are co-sponsors of an event called the St. John's Art Walk. Many of you remember a similar event from St. John Center for Opportunity years ago, and this is a new iteration of that. And right now there's a call for artists going on and vendors. So if you know anybody that wants to table at that event, it's a hyper-local event. It's going to be July 24th. And there's a website that you can go to check it out. It's stjohnsartwalk.org. And all the information is there on that. So if you know anybody or you yourself want to think about tabling there, get in touch and get your application in. And I'm just looking forward to, the notion of having an event this summer. I think it's really exciting, and we are in exciting times. Other announcement is, there's been a lot of confusing information from the CDC and, Oregon Health Authority, and do they always match up? What I have been telling people, and this is what I hope that you all are practicing too, whatever the business guidelines are that are dictated by that business based on how they are feeling about everything, that's what you follow. So if they're saying mask up, you mask up. If they're saying, we're comfortable with small parties unmasked at distance tables, follow that. But really, we want to be respectful of the different businesses and where they are and how they're feeling about their businesses. And every single one is different, and everything changes every day. So usually they have a sign posted or they have it on their social media. Just check it out, and we can all do this. We're getting there little by little every day, and anything we can do to help keep everybody safe would be so much appreciated by everybody. I know it would. So without further ado, I'm going to invite Allison to join me here in our little chat. And Allison, if you are out there and watching the live, come on in and ask to join. Let's see if I don't actually see Allison in here, so hopefully she's going to be on here soon. And looks like I'm trying to see who's here. Little Tibet is here. Hello, Little Tibet. It's nice to see you. Little Tibet is a food cart over at the St. John's Food Carts. So it's a wonderful one. They make something called momos, which are like these little dumplings. They're so delicious. So if you haven't been over to Little Tibet, definitely hang out over there. All right, Allison is here. So we're going to Go live. Okay. This is going to be fun. I'm really excited. I hope you guys are too. All right. Should be doing its thing in a second here. Let's see. Just waiting for it. Do. Oh, I also wanted to mention that the farmers market's tomorrow between 9 and 2. And that's at North Charleston and North Central. Really good time to stock up for all your Memorial Day needs if you're barbecuing. And also, Cathedral Park Performing Arts Collective is doing a porch concert series. So you can hear live music at a very safe distance. They have 2 performers, one that goes on at 11 and one that goes on at 12:30. It's super kid friendly and it's just a block away from the farmers market. So really nice. You can walk to the farmers market, walk to hear live music, walk home and, you know, have your bag full of delicious local produce. Uh-oh. Allison wasn't able to join. So maybe Allison, if you are out there, just request again and just let's see what happens. Let's see. We'll try again. You know, sometimes these things happen. I've got, and Allison was saying that she's got like people using leaf blowers outside of her place. And I've got construction going on at the house across the street from me. So if you hear any extraneous noise, that's just kind of the way it is. All right. Let's see. If you are out there and you can hear me, if you can give me a little wave or say hi in the comments so that I know that the broadcast is actually working, that would be awesome. Anybody out there? Give me a wave. Am I alone here on an island? Oh, let's see. Well, All right, we are going. Oh, there's Allison. She's in the room. She's just not in the room. I see you, Allison. Hello. So just request to join again. Let's see if we can make it work this time. Because you did it right the first time. It's always a little tricky. Oh, it's so strange that it's not letting you in. Interesting. I just don't know why that's happening. Well, guys, we may have to start this video over again, which means I'm going to have to make all my community announcements all over again. That's fine. It happens. Well, let's see. I don't know. It could work. Let's see. Here's Allison. And it's saying, and I'm saying, yes, let you in. Go live. And sometimes there's connectivity problems. That just happens also. Yeah, how funny. It's not, Allison's here, but we just might have to start over again. Oh, no, it worked. It worked. That's so funny. Hi. What was it saying?
Hi. It was saying requested, but then it didn't let me in. But the first time, I think I hit the wrong thing. So I kicked myself out. So
nothing like kicking yourself out of a room on a Friday. Well, sorry. I know it's a little confusing, and it's. I don't think everybody has ever done it before they do this interview with me. So it's like, I hope this works.
First time. So
yay! I'm so glad you're here. It's so good to see you. I miss you.
I know. I miss you too. It's not.
Yeah. So full disclosure, everybody. Allison used to have this amazing office on Ivanhoe, right above Block Bikes, and I was her office roommate for like 2 years, I think it was.
Yeah.
2 years. And then we both decided that when COVID hit, it was better for us each to not have an office or have a different place to work. And so we gave up our beautiful office, and we've been both working mostly from home. And, but if I seem a little giddy, it's because I miss seeing Allison so much. So that's where I'm coming from today. So Allison, I'm gonna pretend I don't know everything. So let's start with you in the beginning and how you started your business and how you came to St. John's.
Okay. Well, I moved to St. John's in 2012, and so I was just out of massage school, working another job, and I was doing massages in my living room just kind of randomly. So I happened to find a cute office available one day a week, and I just started doing massage there. And that was the office that we shared. So that was 2013.
Okay.
And then it kind of just grew to more than one day a week. And I started offering nutrition counseling and teaching yoga, mostly in the park, but in Cathedral Park, but also to people privately. So that was how it all started.
Nice. I love it. Yeah. And I think that probably when most people in St. John's know you, they know you for your massage. That was like one of the first things you did, and you did that for a long time. Is that something you're still doing? And how did COVID affect that?
Yes. It affected it a lot. So since I was already in the process of doing life coaching and health coach, like pushing towards that as my, like adding those options to my business. And COVID just really helped me move that along a lot faster because I couldn't do massage. So I am back to doing massage. My table, you see now, my office is in my living room.
Oh, wow. Right. I've been right there, and there's the massage table.
Yeah. There's a hula hoop on it because my cat will be on there, but he's scared of hula hoops, so he won't jump on there with it on there.
That's smart.
So yeah, I didn't do massage for quite a few months, like whatever that big gap was last year, March through August, I think. I went back. I didn't go back right away because it was a little close. So yeah, I started working more on my coaching part of my business, and that just is eventually what I wanted to do anyway. So thanks COVID, it kind of pushed me into that a little faster.
Yeah, it did. I think it did that with some other people too. It's like it was just a glimmer of an idea, but like sort of your safety net was like what you've been doing for so long, right?
Yeah.
And then it was like, well, you can't do the thing that people know you for. You might as well try something new or something you've been working on. I think it was that way for a lot of people. I know it drastically changed my business as well, and sort of forced me to push myself a lot faster than I would have. Yeah. So thanks, COVID.
Definitely a lot of, there was a lot of fear around doing it, so I was just like, well, okay, thanks, universe. I see what you're trying to tell me here. So yeah, now I'm doing both, coaching and body work. I haven't been teaching yoga as much, well, at all, let's say since last summer, because it just, online is not the same.
Right.
And
it's really different.
Yeah, and yoga wasn't feeling great on my own body, and so I was trying to figure that out. And so, I really might start again in the park this summer.
Yeah. I don't know if any of you remember, Allison used to do yoga in Cathedral Park, which was a neat little meetup, and enjoying even before COVID, the beautiful natural asset that we have right here in St. John's, and doing yoga together, and then maybe hanging out and having a little snack. Or I think one time you had like live music, doing yoga to live music. That was so cool. I really enjoyed that.
Yeah. So super fun. And so I might do that again. I do hula hoop meetups in the park right now because hula hooping is my new jam. So yeah, I just love being outside the park and playing. So look forward to connecting with.
And as I recall, you also have a degree in nutrition as well. Is that right?
I have my nutritional therapy certification.
That was it, a certification. That was it. Because I'm kind of wondering, it's like you've got the path of body work, you've got the path of yoga, you've got the path of all the nutrition and all the different things you were working on. How does that all funnel in to Allison Kirley? I don't ever get your title right. Radical self-love, something coach.
It's just, you can just say Allison Kirley.
Okay. That's easier.
It's so it does all fit together because I also did health coaching and life coaching trainings. I mean, I just can't get enough of these trainings, but it all kind of fits together because I believe, well, radical self-love is something that I think I struggled with my whole life. And I didn't really know that until I started doing my own coaching and inner work. And I was trying to, discover like my authentic self and like who I really was and what I really wanted and why I was scared to try a lot of things in my life. And it kind of all came down to self-love. And so over the years have developed tools that have helped me with that because I have done a lot of things. And so I realized I wished that I was 20 years old and someone had come and told me or, helped me out, supported me with that, because I just see how I was kind of a scared little girl, really. And I didn't love myself. So I didn't treat myself very well. And,
yeah, that really resonates.
Yeah. So that's so how the health stuff relates to that is, self-care is a big part of self-love. And so just if we don't feel good in our bodies, if we don't treat our bodies good, we don't thrive, so we can't, and we don't have the energy to do the things we want to do. So it's all related. It's so all connected. I was struggling with, should I call myself a health coach or a life coach or right. I have like both. And I just picked radical self-love coach because
I love it.
That's what I want.
All encompassing. And that is the very like tenet with which you guide your business too, is the self-love part of it. One of the things I love when I read your website or I read your social media posts is how much of yourself you put in there. I mean, you're not afraid to share your own journey, which I find very relatable. Sometimes coaches seem like larger than life to me, or they've figured everything out. And, is it fair to say that you are also still on your own journey as you're helping others?
Absolutely. Yes. I think this is just a lifelong practice.
Yeah.
Really. And, there's days where you are feeling good and feeling like you can take on anything, but then there's just days where you don't feel like you're doing anything right. So yeah, absolutely a lifelong practice. And I've been there. And so I feel I can relate to people in that way. And yeah, I want people to feel supported in their journey. And I know how it feels to feel stuck or kind of like lost. And so, I turned 50 last year and I was like, it's time to like start making changes. And so I wish that I would have started a lot earlier. So that's what I want for other people too.
But it's never too late. It's never too late to sort of unlearn the things that play in your head, or the things maybe you were told when you were younger, or that you got out of, watching the media or whatever. It's never too late, I don't think, to unlearn that. And that's what I think is really neat about what you do, is it's like wherever you are, wherever you're coming from, you can start practicing this notion of radical self-love and, do it start in small ways, and then, just keep growing it. Right. I've been fortunate enough to take some of your like group sessions or doing one-on-ones, and there's a couple of things that really, like, again, going on the journey with you and like you sharing what you learned and what's worked for you, because you've actually done the work. And then also I really appreciate that while you are very serious about the methods and in your learnings and teachings, you always interject some humor in there. Like, it's always fun with you. I always like look forward to hanging out, whether we're doing work together, whether we're just hanging together, because at the end of it, you're just a really fun person to be around, right? We always laugh a lot. Like a lot. That's very relieving, and it actually releases some kind of like endorphins that make me feel relaxed and comfortable.
Yeah, I love that.
Yeah.
Well, thank you.
Well, and then also it's interesting because while you were doing this, we were in such a challenging year with COVID, of feeling isolated or stressed. I mean, talk about the unknown. Everything was unknown. So how did you, like, what kind of things do you do yourself for self-care, like when you start feeling anxious, or maybe because all of those feelings still exist, you know, you just learn
Yeah.
to manage them a little bit better. So what do you do?
Yeah. Well, when I feel anxious, it's a big one. I've had a lot of that lately this year. And I did also, because I can't stop taking classes, I took a breathwork certification during COVID, because for me, I was like, it's time to take more classes. So I took a breathwork course, and I've been trying to use my breathwork for, when I feel anxious. I'm not as regular as I want to be at it, but definitely works for times really where I'm feeling like anxious or scattered or just like ungrounded.
Mm-hmm.
And I will do meditations. I I think my number one go-to tool though is journaling.
Mm-hmm.
So because that I I love to write, and that's just where I can kind of process things. And then number two thing is going up to Forest Park and walking in the woods by myself. So, so yeah, journaling, Forest Park, and then breath work and meditation. So,
Oh, that's awesome. I love the outdoors part of that too. You know, really just taking yourself out in nature to reconnect with yourself. You know,
yeah,
to take yourself out of all the distractions and all the shoulds and coulds and
right.
woulds, and go to the woods instead of the woods, WOULD. You can
Yeah,
go to the woods. You can use that.
totally. Yeah, and it's just like it's super grounding, and I always get so many creative ideas when I go up there, and I can just like process things. Yeah, it's really cool. So I'm really grateful to live so close to Forest Park.
I know. I love that's one of the great things about living in St. John's is we really do have it all. Like you can
Yeah,
do a half day of like hiking in the woods, and then be there for an appointment in your afternoon, and
yeah.
it's really remarkable. I mean, it's really pretty cool. Um, and it gives you one of the things that I miss so much is travel, but you can do like little day trips just around like where we are, and
Yeah,
it feels like travel because it's getting you out of your day-to-day routine. And I think
right,
that's pretty cool.
right. Go to the
Yeah.
coast, whatever.
Yeah, exactly. So, um, tell me, what is your typical client that you coach? Is it like, I know that you do a lot of work. You've had some women, women centered, group projects that you have done but I don't want to categorize you or gender it if it's not like, what kind of person usually comes to you and really benefits from the work that you do together?
I would say it's the woman who it is women
Mm-hmm.
who identifies as a woman,
Yeah.
because that's how I feel I can relate to, or who I can relate to the most. And it's the woman who wants to feel maybe like show up more authentically in their life, without like, people pleasing or being the person that they're expected to be because of certain roles they play. It's like the woman who might feel lost or stuck and have goals or dreams that seem too far off to be possible. Um, what else? Women that want to feel more in tune with their bodies and like what they want. More self love, more self confidence. I call it freeing, like who want to feel free in their wild souls. And to me, that's like the authentic part of you that really came to this planet to do with a purpose and to figure out what that is. So I'm
Oh, I
rather
love.
self-love plays a part in all that, because really it's the basis of it. If you love yourself, you're going to be able to want to get to know yourself, want to spend time with yourself, and treat yourself well. So
And I think it's, one thing I have thought about, after the work we've done together, it's really like, I love how you get people to kind of listen to themselves. So many of us, like I did this for so long. I was like unhappy in a job for so long. I stayed in a job where I was really unhappy for way longer than I should have, because I was so scared to like jump off the carousel, and I didn't know what was going to be in front of me. And I didn't like that feeling of unknowing because there was fear around money. There was fear around my capability to do anything else other than what I was doing. And just fear of change, I guess. And I think COVID really caused people to kind of take a step back and examine themselves and be like,
Yeah.
what am I doing? Life is not infinite. So
Yeah.
is this it? Like, and if it's not it, when are you going to pursue what is it?
Right.
So
Yeah.
yeah, I
Yeah.
think that's, as weird and isolating and confining as it was, in a way it's also freeing, but sometimes that's hard to take on your own. You can have a lot of jumbled thoughts or dreams or ideas, but how do you manifest that into like your
Yeah.
actual life, right?
Yeah, for sure. And really like the point of coaching is to move people towards choice, to feel like they have choice in their life. And that's what really uh, sold me on it. Is I was burnt out on massage a few years ago, and I was just, I'm not good at being in like one place all the time. And so I was just in the room doing massage after massage. And I was thinking like, there's got to be more that I can do than this. And so I felt sort of stuck as well. And when I had coaching, yeah, it opened up possibilities that I didn't know existed because I let my fears and limiting beliefs and stories and all that get in the way. So
And you have a gift, and by not sharing your gift, if you're based in fear, and that's
mm-hmm.
standing right in front of you, it's almost like I can't remember who said it. If somebody said it to me recently, but there's a quote where if you're like, you need to be sharing your gift with the world. That's why you're here. It's actually not
Yeah.
fair to the world for you
Yeah.
to keep your gift contained.
Right.
And we all have a gift. It's everyone has one. You just have to figure out what it is and kind of figure out how to share it, right?
Exactly. Yeah. Yeah. And it's never too late. I mean,
Yep.
anytime. Yeah. So
Well, the journaling part is also very interesting to me because, as you know, I love journaling, and Allison and I actually discovered a love of bullet journaling around the same time, and we have taught both in-person and virtual classes in bullet journaling, and we do it quite. I mean, there's some things we do similarly, but there's a lot we do quite differently based on our personalities. But that's really fun to share, and I actually miss sharing that stuff with you. But that was a journal and a journal journey in and of itself, was to be like, okay, let's get ourselves away from the preset, weekly schedule notebooks that tell you how you have to set up your week, and let's create our own. And that was kind of, in a very small way, very radical notion, to think that you can create your schedule the way you want. I can put stickers on it. You can draw on it. We can do it differently, but it can work for both of us. And as far as personal journaling, I know a lot of the work that we did together, you really taught me the value of learning prompts to open up certain parts of yourself. So it's not just free journaling, which has its own merits too, but it's really kind of focusing in, and then also giving yourself the time to really concentrate on that. Can you talk about journaling a little bit?
Sure. I'd love to. Yeah, it's been a part of my life for so many years. I think I got my first little Snoopy diary when I was 7. I didn't write in it, but I found it the other day. I still have it. And I wrote for a long time, mostly like in college and beyond, but then maybe around, I don't know, 2005 or something, I stopped for a good 10 years because I kept reading my old journals and I thought, I'm just saying the same stuff and nothing changed. And so I thought maybe I'm making it worse. So I didn't write for, I don't know, maybe it wasn't 10 years, but I started again a few years ago, really consistently, because I did join a journal. My coach did a journal subscription where you got a journal prompt every week for 52 weeks. And so
cool.
I did that, and it really kind of just opened it up again. And now, I mean, if you saw my journals, it's ridiculous how many I've gone through, especially during COVID year. But yeah, there's no right or wrong way to do it. You can use the prompts which is helpful to get into it and get started. You can just free write. Usually, just setting a timer is great. Um, it can be a brain dump. Like it doesn't have to be all positive stuff. It can just be getting stuff out of your mind and getting it like out of your head so that you can focus. And yeah, I mean, I think it's just a really nice way to. It's also nice to have that to reflect on too.
Yeah.
Later.
And I love it's so you to be like, you can do it this way or that way and don't worry about it. And there's no wrong way to do it. And the notion of the brain dump is something that I associate so much with you in bullet journaling too. Cause I remember you just used to have pages for like, all those little ideas, just free form, putting them on the page. And it's really important to capture that and to make space for that.
Yeah. Yeah. So it's great. And, I really encourage all my clients to get a journal, and in between their sessions I give them journaling homework, and it has helped a lot of them just like get clear on their thoughts instead of like their brain kind of thinking so much. They can kind of get it out on paper.
Yeah. Well, and has COVID, because we've all gone to like, this Instagram Live and Zoom and, all kinds of different formats. Do you feel that was limiting in your coaching, or do you think that was enabled you to coach, more people throughout the country, so you weren't limited to time and space? Like what did that do as far as like your practice?
Well, coaching, part of the reason I was drawn to it is because I could do it from anywhere. So I was originally doing it on the phone, just through phone calls. But I think because Zoom became so well known and easy to, we became familiar with it. And so I was like, yeah, I'm going to try Zoom. And so I think now it really helped because everybody's just used to doing things on Zoom now. So it's not such a foreign concept of we're going to have a call and, talk about this stuff online. But
yeah, I do enjoy the face-to-face, whether that's virtual or not, because personally, I'm not a big phone talker. I like hate talking on the phone. I don't know if anybody knows that. Now you know. So if I don't call you back, it's because I hate the phone. It's not you. So I just like seeing people's expressions. Yeah, it gives you that like next level of connection, and just being able to look in someone's eyes. The only distracting thing is that you're also like, I'm constantly watching myself. Yeah. Somebody told me it was a really good practice if you're having a Zoom call to turn off your own, like take yourself out of the screen, because it's way too distracting.
Right.
It is super distracting. I'm always like hyper aware of like what is around me, and I'm like, oh, I gotta clean that thing, or oh, I gotta do this. But that's okay. I mean, it's also very like equalizing to like everyone's in their living rooms. Everybody's got animals that are disruptive. Like I don't hear any noise, by the way, outside your house. Okay. I don't know if you hear the construction outside mine. To me, it's super loud, and then people are like, nope, you're good, can't hear it. So it's like, whatever. Again, it's like, it sort of forces you to push through those fears and to not make everything so perfect. I don't know about you, but I grew up sort of like thinking everything had to be like perfect and tight in a bow, and, and if it wasn't, then it wasn't good enough.
Yeah, totally. And even like because coaching really does kind of push you to be more, I mean, when I'm marketing, I have to share myself, like I'm really sharing my story. And I've learned that about Instagram. Like that's it. It's not all perfect, and I'm not perfect, and everybody has these cute pictures, but really there's more to it than that. So, I've learned a lot through that.
Well, I love, of course, because social media is what I think about all the time. And I remember like you didn't used to love during your social media. I remember how much you used to love. But I have noticed that the changes in social media have caused you to use them more. So now I see a lot more stories. Like the stories I feel like were meant for you. Because you do a really good job of your stories, and it's just a small little clip. It's not as buttoned up as like a full post with a lot of text. So you can just be a little freer and a little bit more fun with it. And it's in the moment.
I'm getting better. It's a learning process. I've been like trying to to be more intentional and, learn things online or whatever I can. And then
No, I've noticed it. It's really awesome. And the thing is, it's a lot like journaling. You just have to create the habit of doing it. And once you have the habit ingrained in you, you'll do it. And you just have to just keep doing it. I mean, that's what happens with me with journaling. If I don't create like some time to do it or just get in the habit of doing it every day, I can really fall off for a long time. And it's not, and then I feel very pent up and
yeah, totally.
yeah. And plus I love journaling. I love the whole process of getting a notebook and and a pen and I love it. And because everything is so digital now too, it's so nice to not type.
Yeah, it feels good. And I love my journal so much. Here's my favorite. And they have so many different kinds, like designs, that I want all of them. And so I am excited when I get to start a new one.
Yeah.
I
love it. I always have things that I say, like things for me that make an ideal journal are, it's big enough that I can, write freely in it, but it's small enough that I can like throw it in my bag and go to the park.
Yeah, totally.
Because I've had all different sizes, giant ones, like teeny tiny ones. And it has to be like the right, like middle size that I'm going to actually use it, because that's what a tool is, something you're going to actually use. Right.
Right. You and I share the love of paper products.
I know. We really do. But it shouldn't be a chore. Just like anything else, any habit you're forming shouldn't feel like a chore. You're probably not going to do it for very long. It should feel like something enjoyable, like going for a hike or, just something you're doing it for yourself, and it is a practice, but it should be one that gives back to you. Right.
Yeah. Yeah. And I think like the way I am with my, I guess, practice is that I do it at the same time. I do it in the morning every day, and that works for me. But also, I don't want, if it starts to feel like a to-do list or item, then I give myself some leeway, and I think like today is a better day to do a meditation or a walk or whatever. And so, so
I love that you listen to your instincts like that. You're like, you know what? Look outside. The sun's out. Maybe we're not going to like check things off the to-do list. Maybe I'm going to take advantage of this because maybe tomorrow's going to be terrible weather and I will have wished I went outside. You're always way better about that than me. I'm always like, no, I have to stay at my desk and do my to-do list. But that's how I learn. That's how I continually learn from you. Well, I think you have maybe some kind of a program happening now that I was reading about, and I wanted to make sure that people listening and on the recording are going to know how best to work with you, how to find you. So can you tell us a little bit about that?
Sure. I have a coaching project going on right now called the Courage Now Project, and it's where I'm giving away 20 90-minute coaching calls in May and June. So I have 9 left if anyone wants one. They're free calls, and they are really just to kind of give you the experience of coaching, because it's a little hard to understand until you've experienced it yourself. And with my coaching, I also throw in meditations, breath work, journaling, of course. And so it's kind of a blend of all those things. And it just gives people the experience. It's called the Courage Now Project because I was thinking about how when I was a kid, I was super brave. And one year I put on a circus with my sister and my friends. We were like 10, and I called the paper and said we needed a reporter, we needed coverage, and
God, love it.
Yeah. So I just thought, my gosh, I used to be so brave, and so that's kind of the theme is like how can you be a little braver in your life, or how are you not, being courageous right now, and how is that holding you back? So that's the theme. If you want to sign up, you can. It's on my website, AllisonKirley.com. There's one of the top tabs is the Courage Now Project, and
that's Allison with 2 L's and Kirley with 1 L.
Kirley with a K too.
Kirley with a K. Oh, right.
Yeah.
Kirley. Right. I didn't even think of the other word Kirley. Right. Yeah.
Yeah. And then also, speaking of journaling, I do have in June coming up. I think it's going to be June 20th through 27th. I'm like 99% sure, but I'm going to offer a free journal challenge, 7-day journal challenge. And that is called Return to Self. And that's the theme of that. I like to have themes. Yeah. And every day for 7 days, you'll get a journal prompt in your email, and we'll start the journal or the challenge with a live call just to kind of talk about return to self and little journaling tips and tricks, and yeah, just to kind of connect with people, because I like to do workshops and stuff, and so I haven't done one for a while. So
that's so fun. And is there a limitation on how many people can join that one?
That one is just open for whoever. So yeah, as many want to join. Yeah. Yeah. So look for that. And you can, if you want to sign up for my email, it's on my website too. So there's a little box that pops up for you to sign. And if you sign up, you get a self-love toolkit. I don't know if you know about that, Liz.
No.
If you go, I'll send you one because you're already
okay.
But it's just it's access to a page with my a video I did, a yoga video I made a long time ago, and then a couple guided meditations. There's journal prompts on there, and there's, I think, a playlist. Yeah, so all about love and self-love. And
I love your playlists. I used to love them from your yoga classes, so I know that's going to be good. And I wanted to tell those of you who are out there who are like debating whether or not they want to sign up for one more like email list. Allison's emails, they're not too often. They're always really personal and really good. I always get something out of them. It's actually one of the email subscriptions that I love. I look forward to it. I open them every time because I'm looking forward to what it is. And it's, it's, some of them can feel so like they're so long, they're so tedious, but this one feels just like Allison talking here. It's just very friendly. It's very much about what's going on right now. And so, yeah, I would encourage people to sign up for it for sure.
Thank you. I love that because you never know, what people are, if they're even reading it.
I know. It's a weird thing because you don't really get feedback on it when you send out an email. That's one of the weird things about email. You're like, hello, everybody. And then it's like, it's the void. Like you're hoping that it went somewhere and that people liked it. But I can tell you as a receiver of your emails that I really liked your emails. And again, it just includes that little element of fun along with like serious work. So it's good stuff. And then for any of your other things that you're doing, is it all in your one website? So if you're signing up for like, I know you have like regular massage clients, do they sign up there too? Or is that different?
Actually, it's all there, but you can also reach all that through Instagram.
Great.
So I think, my website's there. There's massage there. There's one-on-one coaching programs there. So I guess I should talk about that. I do have the one-to-one coaching packages that are 6 months long. And it's all the stuff we talked about, doing all the things which are going to be in those Courage Now calls. So that's kind of how you can get a taste of what my 6 month package looks like.
That's awesome. The one-on-one stuff, I will say, way before I knew you, I was able to work with a coach when I was transitioning from being like a corporate executive kind of person into like quitting that whole corporate world and trying to figure my life out. And if it had not been for that coach, I think I would have like scurried back to corporate life out of fear. And I would have, she gently pushed me and helped me, go forward in the way that I kept saying I wanted to do, but wasn't good about doing. So it can be life-changing. That's the other thing I want to tell people. It can really change your life.
Yeah. It's made a huge difference in mine. So.
And do you have a coach too? Like, do coaches have coaches?
Always.
Yeah.
I actually have 2 coaches. Well, yeah.
Awesome. That's so cool. I love it. Well, this has been so great. And I mean, I was, very much trying not to like be like, okay, here's Liz and Allison catching up and forgetting that there's an entire audience out there, because that could happen. We'll save that for, a future podcast we might do.
Yeah, totally. I'm so in.
That would be super fun. A podcast would be really fun. I've always wanted to do one, but I always wanted to do it with a partner.
Oh my gosh, me too. So,
okay, it's being born right here, right in front of all of you. We're gonna have a podcast, and tell me, shoot me a message or email if you think that would be fun. I think Allison and I could cover a lot of subjects. we have a lot to say. But I think we have to broadcast from like somewhere where we can have a glass of wine at the same time. Liquid courage.
Oh my gosh, then those conversations get real interesting.
I know. I know. They might be interesting only to us. Yeah. But that's okay. It's a podcast. You can turn it off whenever you want. But I've gotten to love podcasts. That's something I never really listened to before the pandemic. But I found that, like, especially if I was, like, home alone and I just had to do it, I was just tired of being alone. I would just put my earbuds in with a podcast, and like doing chores or whatever, it was just so much more interesting.
I love them. I mean, if I ever have to drive anywhere, which is and a lot, I love like listening to my favorite podcasts and learning or laughing. I listen to funny ones too. So,
well, our first episode could be, what's your favorite podcasts? The first podcast we could do is, what are the ones because I bet we listen to really different ones.
Right. Totally.
Okay. We got it. We've got a plan. I love it. I love your creative energy. And I always love this like little vibe that we have. So I'm looking forward to seeing you in person one day soon. Me too. We can go hoop it up in the park, or you can hoop and I can, sit there. That happens. I'll keep the wine cold. All right. That sounds good. And I will see you soon. Thank you so much for doing this with me.
Yay. Thanks for
Yay. All right. I'll see you. Everybody have a great Labor Day, Memorial Day weekend.
Bye.
Bye.